Madden Football is the home of the Super Bowl, and this historic matchup is brought to you by EA Sports. It's the Packers and the Bengals, and it's coming up next.
We are pleased, as always, to be bringing you coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. We count down to kickoff in what should be an epic one here, as it'll be the AFC champions Cincinnati Bengals taking on the NFC champions, the Green Bay Packers. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. Here come the Bengals now to take over. And a look at a guy, definitely got a little razzle-dazzle to him. Can do it with his arm or his legs. Their mobile QB. Oh, he's going to air it out right away. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. Well, if those at home were wondering if we were going to see some offense in this Super Bowl, I think your answer was right there. Incomplete, but they take a big shot early.
Like the script, if they get the big play early, so much the better. But if nothing else, they send a message. They're going to be aggressive in this game.
That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there.
And that's the kind of run that gets everyone excited on offense. And, you know, oftentimes the guys who carry the ball are the ones in the huddle doing the chirping. Right now, I think it's the offensive line telling them, run it again. We are right there about to break a big one.
And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. 43 yards rushing for him now on their opening drive in the Super Bowl. A couple of nice carries back-to-back here, establishing the ground game a bit.
Yeah, these aren't bare-bones runs now. I mean, they're getting substantial yardage, the kind of yards you're looking for, right? Let's go ahead and use a cliche. Stay ahead of the change, right? Five or more yards each time. That's what you're looking for in setting a tone and getting your offensive line going.
Good sign on the opening drive. Oh, not sure he saw the linebacker there, as that's batted down and incomplete. And here's Green off the play fake. This will be swung out wide for Taylor. And he's down inside the 5 at the 4 before he's out of bounds. A good pickup there at 22. A chance for the first points of this Super Bowl. It's 1st and goal. Green. And he will take it on in for a Bengals touchdown. Taking it in from 4 yards out. And the Bengals are on the board first here in this Super Bowl. Let's make no bones about it. On paper, they're the better team. They're at home. That's a strong opening drive.
And just think how many times we've seen this type of a matchup. Just what you said. Better team at home should steamroll it. And we've seen it go the other way. Sometimes, though, they buy into it and understand we are the better team. Let's go out and prove it right now.
A drive that time of 6 plays. And it results in a 4-yard touchdown run. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And this will be a touchback, so they'll bring it out to the 25. Time to see the offense for Green Bay go to work. Aaron Rodgers leading them. What a career it's been. Came into the league back in 2005 as the number 24 pick out of Cal.
As we begin the Super Bowl, we're looking at one of the game's most important players. And whether he's the centerpiece of the offense or taking a backseat to his teammates, offenses always look to the quarterback to be a leader in moments like this. He's got to be that calm, composed pillar out there who stays level-headed and keeps everyone focused on the task at hand.
Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. Again, it's Jones. And this time he's not going anywhere. They'll get him down right at the line of scrimmage. They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. Rodgers looking to throw on 3rd and 2. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked up by Jalen Ramsey. And the Bengals are going to take possession of the football.
Partner, I think this one would arrive very simply because he overestimated his arm strength and his ability to fit it anywhere he wants to. A lot of quarterbacks do that and often pay the price.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Off play action. Green. And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete.
I'll give them credit winning that first snap and forcing an incompletion. They're hoping that'll deflate the offense a little bit after they took the field charged up after taking over after a turnover.
He'll try again with the arm here on 2nd down. And he whips that one incomplete there.
Anytime he reads man coverage, I don't think it's going to be the only time he'll try and hit that route to the outside in this game. He'll test the perimeter, but that time, they were up to the challenge.
Finds his man. It's Kelsey on the crossing route here. And they move this all the way down to the 9. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Off the play fake. Green on the move to his left. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be 2nd down.
That's an early scramble that can be viewed positively by either side. From the offensive point of view, it begins to establish it as a possibility to keep it on certain plays. And defensively,
and he'll take this into the end zone for a Bengal TD. A great effort there. His 2nd touchdown in this Super Bowl. And the Bengals will add to their first quarter lead here in this Super Bowl. Not a bad start for him. 2 drives for the offense, 2 rushing TDs.
Almost like he's in the percussion section in the band, isn't it? Got a little oomph, right? Got a little crash, got a little bang. He's got it all as he gets to the end zone. 2nd rushing touchdown, as you noted, on 2 drives. He's off to a terrific start.
Okay, you ready? Wait for it. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And he'll just sit on this one as their drive will start at the 25. The Packers offense here coming back out for their 2nd drive. They trailed early on in this Super Bowl as they come up 1st and 10. They'll start out on the ground with Jones. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
That felt like a trap because it looked to me like the opposing front was on that play from the get-go. They had everyone crashing the ball carrier before he even made the line, and they hold him to just a yard.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. To throw is Rodgers. Flush to his right. And he works his way past the line of scrimmage and then slides to a hole. 5 yards that time out of the scramble. But now they're looking at a 4th down situation.
I was looking at a dime formation. 6 defensive backs on the field. So he's looking for anyone to throw the football to. But he didn't have anyone open, so he took off and ran for it. But he came up just short, and that brings up 4th down.
On 4th down, here's Brett Kern to punt the football away. Back deep is Tyreek Hill. Taken from just outside the 30. A good kick that time, but also a pretty good 15-yard return. And the Bengals take over 1st and 10. Now the Cincinnati offense ready to see what they can do here. It has been about as perfect of a start to this game as these guys could have asked for, Charles. They've scored on their first 2 drives. They still haven't given anything up on the other side of the ball, so they can already make this a 3-score game here if they can come away with points on this drive.
Yeah, they're almost pushing them to the brink, aren't they, partner? Almost to the point now where it's a loss of words for me, which I know would excite all of our viewers, but you're just not supposed to see that type of dominance so quickly in a game like this. Everything they've done has been working so far. Offense, defense, you name it, it's going well for them.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. To the right side, this is Taylor. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And he will take it on in for a Bengals touchdown. The first quarter, and this lead is already getting into dangerous territory. They better be careful on the other sideline.
Yeah, it feels a little bit more like a basketball game where one team is pressing and that team can't get the ball over half court. I mean, it is stealing it and scoring it, layups, the whole deal. That's what it feels like right now. They are all over it.
Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and the lead opens up now to 22 points. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And he'll decide to not bring this one out as their drive will begin at the 25. The Packer offense now ready to get back onto the field. They trail early on in this Super Bowl as they come up 1st and 10. Rodgers now to throw. His throw incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first. Throwing is Rodgers on 3rd down. And the ball is knocked out, and the Bengals grab it. Loose inside the 30, inside the 10. And this is taken into the end zone. A fumble recovery and a Cincinnati touchdown. And what we just saw, very, very rare. We only had 5 of those in the first 50 Super Bowls.
The biggest stage, the biggest game, and we just saw it happen again. Extraordinary.
The defense has been good, and they were good again there. And oh, it's wide right. No good. That brings us to the end of 1 in Super Bowl 58. Much more to come from Las Vegas. And we are back and ready to go for the 2nd quarter of the Super Bowl. Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis, as always, thrilled to be with you. Thanks for tuning in, everyone. Here's Tucker now out to kick this one away. The return man down to a knee, and this will come out to the 25-yard line. The Packers offense now heading back out onto the field.
And in just about every game we see, partner, what do we do when we look at the stat sheet? We go right to
the turnover differential.
Without a doubt, because when we see that, that pretty much tells the tale of the game. And I know there's still plenty of time to go, but you've got to take care of the football in order to win it.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. They'll go again to Jones. Yeah, he'll fight for a couple as the tackle is made at about the 32. The Packers on 3rd down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This time it's 3rd and 3. Here's Rodgers to throw. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Jalen Ramsey. And he will bring it back. It's a pick 6 for the Bengals TD. Well, this defense, they've been terrific all year, and they come through with a pick 6 here on the game's biggest stage.
Perfect descriptor there, because we have seen this time and time again. This defense, their ability to take the ball away from teams, they definitely have a nose for the football, and it pays off again on that play.
Tucker now to add the point after. And the route is on here in this first half. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. And it'll come out to the 25 as he will not attempt to return. That pick six just a moment ago. Things went from bad to worse. Look up at the scoreboard now. Not looking good here. We'll see if they can put something together on this drive. 1st and 10. Rodgers will bring the pack up with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. After the pick six, they go right back to the air. A throw complete to the tight end, Tunyon. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Now it's Rodgers. And this one too low. Charles, he doesn't seem to be particularly in tune with his receivers, just 2 for 7 throwing the football, but he did seem really locked in before the game.
Yeah, and that has to do with receivers sometimes. Sometimes the defenders knock them off their routes, and you're usually pretty precise. 1, 2, 3 cut, balls out of his hands to the receiver. In this case, might be off by a half step either way. They've got to find a way to get back in sync.
Meanwhile, Rodgers' throw brought in by Watson. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4. In search of 4 yards here to pick up the 1st down. And again, it's Rodgers. Pass caught. It's Romeo Doubs. And he's got another 1st down as the tackle's going to be made at the Bengals' 41-yard line. Rodgers with a give. It's Aaron Jones. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. 8 yards the tally on that 1st down run. Here's 2nd and 2. An inside give to Jones. And he's stopped after a gain of 1. Not enough. Still a yard to go on 3rd down. This will be play number 7 on the drive. 3rd and a yard. Now Rodgers. And unable to connect. If he had caught it, it would have been a 1st down. Instead, it's 4th. So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yeah, so let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They're giving him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
Got a man. It's Tunyon. And he's brought down inside the 20 at the 18-yard line. 4th down, no problem. Just a ho-hum pickup of 14 to keep the offense on the field. We have reached the 2-minute warning. In fact, just under 2 minutes to play in the opening half of this year's Super Bowl. Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. To throw, it's Rodgers. No, he dropped it. They were looking for him in the middle 3rd. He couldn't catch it. Now 3rd down. Rodgers again now. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
I think it's safe to say that he's made some questionable decisions out there so far. Forced some throws into tight coverage. He's already been picked off in this game. 4th down now, but he was fortunate on that one not to have another turnover on his record.
Well, that's something of a pick-me-up for the offense. Certainly has struggled, but they do get the field goal before half to put 3 on the board.
Yeah, you don't want to be shut out, but let's face it, those 3 points, that's not going to solve all their problems either.
And after the made field goal, Santos back out there to kick it away. They'll elect to bring it out here from the end zone. Well, a dangerous return man showing it here. The 40, 20, 10, 5, and he'll bring it back all the way. Touchdown, Bengals.
That was a special return, and it happened because he's a special returner. He has to have that approval from the special teams coach's head coach to bring it out of the end zone.
But let's be honest, a lot of times when they bring it out of the end zone like he did there, they don't have approval. I mean, I think a lot of times they do, but correct me if I'm wrong. Sometimes it's just a guy getting a feel, right?
You're exactly right. What's the old adage? Sometimes you just have to know when to break the rules. And if you do, you're taking on some responsibility. But he was happy to do so there.
And we will not see an attempt to match that return touchdown, as this will be a touchback and bring it out to the 25. The Green Bay offense ready to take over. And last time able to get 3. That's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. And this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Throwing is Rodgers. This one complete to Tunyon underneath. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31. He finds Watson complete, finding room at midfield. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. Now a first down carry by Jones. And he is going to lose yardage here. Now another timeout called for by the offense, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. Now look out, Rodgers lost the football, but it looked like a Packer. Yeah, Packer was able to get this back, and they'll indeed keep possession. Being chased out left. And he will slide down, but a penalty marker down as well. And it looks like this is going to be all for naught. And they get the guard, John Runyon. And this third down looking very tough after the holding penalty. 3rd and long. Off the option, it's Jones. And they'll indeed stop him on 3rd down. And now what do you want to do with your timeouts? Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half. On is Kern, the punter, to send this one away. Now Hill to return it, and he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. Likely time for one final snap as they start out 1st and 10. Off play action. Green going deep for Diggs. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
Certainly no lack of aggressiveness here. They were hoping for the home run play to get them 6 points. They're hoping for a catch, maybe a call, but they figure they can at least get into field goal range with a completion.
And now this throw incomplete, and that is how this first half will come to an end. So we've come upon halftime in the big one, the Super Bowl. As we send you to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach?
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. What a season this has been. Hard to believe it ends tonight, as we'll get back to you guys for the second half of this Super Bowl in just a moment. And on now to a check on the next-gen stats in that first half for the Packers. And they didn't get a whole lot accomplished through the air in those first 2 quarters of play. They'll need to up their game if they want to rally all the way back. Both teams making their final adjustments of the season during this long halftime break. Who will claim the Lombardi Trophy? To find out, we go back to Brandon and Charles in Vegas for the second half of Super Bowl 58.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. These two teams sat through a longer than usual 30-minute wait, but we're back in action here in the Super Bowl. And no fireworks to start the half. This will be a touchback. Well, the Packers ready to go to start quarter number 3. And right now, their chances of hoisting that Lombardi Trophy not looking too great, but perhaps that long halftime, maybe it did them a world of good.
But if there's ever a chance to regroup, it's in this game, right? Because you do have that long halftime, a chance to really assess things and maybe make some changes and true adjustments. They played great all year long. That's the worst first half of the season for them. They're hoping to put it behind them and come out punching here in the second half.
The tally there, -2 yards, brings up 3rd down. Right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the first down and move the chains. And Rodgers is going to go down. He's sacked. Aaron Donald with a big-time sack on 3rd down. It's a loss of 7.
It's been a tough one all game long for this offensive line. They're already down big, and now you know they're just going to come after the quarterback in a big way, don't you?
Yeah, they just can't get out of their own way right now. It's created an avalanche, and an avalanche is coming right on top of them. Let's take it inside his own 40. Cincinnati score. He returns the punt 61 yards. And the Bengals are starting to open things up here in the Super Bowl.
Well, it certainly feels like that kind of game, doesn't it? No matter what they do, it's going to work. That might be the absolute crusher right there. The punt return for a touchdown.
Feels like there's been a lot of crushers in this game. This lead just gets bigger. Tucker now for the extra point. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. We know he has home run hitting ability in the punt return department, and he showcases it there all the way back for 6. So after the punt return touchdown, let's see what their opponents can do with this kickoff. And this will not be returned. It's a touchback, and they'll begin at the 25. Green Bay's offense ready to go again. Well, this has been a tough one for them, Charles. They've struggled really on both sides of the football. And one thing that's really plagued them, the turnovers. They've had issues keeping the football in their possession.
And every game that's ever been played, all coaches talk about taking care of the football and limiting turnovers. And in this one, after we saw that first turnover, we worried that things would snowball. And it certainly did, especially on the scoreboard.
Third quarter, Super Bowl 58. Here's a 2nd and 10 now. Here's Rodgers. Setting up the screen here, Aaron Jones. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Throwing now is Rodgers. Throw right side. This is into the hands of the tight end, Tunyon. So no gain on the play. And that'll bring up 4th down.
Excuse my snarkiness here, but isn't the idea of completing a pass supposed to mean you get downfield and gain yards?
Especially on 3rd down.
Yeah, that one. How about the defense? Figured that one out in a big way. Yeah, they completed it all right and lost yardage.
Here's Brett Kern now as he's on to punt for the 4th time tonight. And we'll see what he can do on the return. A nice punt, but a good run back as well, 13 yards. And that will come the offense as they take over. The Bengals offense getting set and ready to go again here. So good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 44. A nice looking play to start the drive down the middle and complete. That's good for 28 yards.
This offensive game plan has just been sensational. I mean, when you think about all the different ways they've gotten their receivers open so far, it's really been impressive. Scheme, design, execution.
Now here's a pass on 1st down that's knocked away and incomplete. Third quarter of the biggest spectacle in sport, the Super Bowl. Thanks for joining us, everybody. 2nd and 10. He's got the hook up with Diggs. And he's going to be taken down, but there's a penalty flag in the backfield. Is this a hold, or did they rough the quarterback? Charles, did I just hear that right? They declined the personal foul. 3 yards, they just declined them.
And I have to think that the official is thinking to himself, did I just hear that correctly? That you declined?
Under pressure now, and he's going to go down just inside the 5-yard line. Preston Smith, and a drop him behind the line for a loss of a yard. Green, off the bootleg, steps away. All in all, no gain on the play, and it'll bring up 3rd. 3rd and goal as they look to pour some more salt in the wound. Off the bootleg, Green. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Bengal TD. It's their quarterback with his third touchdown of the Super Bowl. And the Bengals are starting to pour it on at the game's biggest stage. They are running away with this Super Bowl. They were looking to pass the ball there, but they forgot to account for the man with the football.
Yeah, I can hear people right now saying, look, why don't you have a spy in your defense, someone who will dance with him and go where he goes? Well, oftentimes if you utilize a spy, you've taken away someone in coverage as well. And oftentimes, the spy, not as athletic as the guy he's trying to keep up with, so he gets defeated anyway.
And he turns 3rd and goal into a touchdown. And he'll just take a seat, and the drive will begin at the 25-yard line. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
We are through 3 quarters of play here from Allegiant Stadium. It's Super Bowl 50. And we're back in the Super Bowl. Time to decide who gets to hoist that Lombardi trophy as we begin the 4th and final quarter of action. On first down, Rodgers. And they'll get this down to around the 47-yard line. Well, a touchdown here on this drive, it wouldn't really put much of a dent in the score, the deficit right now. But as you mentioned in the past, CD, their coach is probably just hoping to see something executed correctly on this drive before we close out the ball game.
Yeah, and I think that every guy who's on the field has to feel exactly the same way, because if not, they might be looking for replacements. Treat every drive as if it's your last and make it a successful one in some small way.
Rodgers to throw once more. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football, but it looked like a Packer. Yeah, Packer was able to get this back, and they'll indeed keep possession. So they keep the ball, but work to do on 2nd and long. Rodgers going to throw. And they're going to work this down to about the 32-yard line. 7th play of the drive upcoming here on 3rd and 6. Now Rodgers. And that is incomplete.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
And he missed it. He missed it just wide of that left upright. It's no good. And they will remain well behind.
Looked like you might have overcompensated there for being on the right hash, because you've got to make sure you get the angle right. But that time he started it too far left and winds up hooking it way too far.
And here's a good way to kick off a drive, complete over the middle. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. So into Packer territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 34. Off the bootleg. Green. Nowhere to turn here, and he's going to go down. Back at about the 37-yard line. Kenny Clark able to use that strength to get him for a loss of 2. Now Green off the bootleg. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. And give him 10 that time as he was able to get away from the pressure and get a nice gain. In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. Off the bootleg. Green. Wide open receiver complete. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. So still throwing here in the 4th quarter with a pretty sizable lead. And now that lead even more sizable. And if nothing else, you'll see a chance to pile on some stats before this one wraps up, and he did just that.
Brandon, convention tells us It's time for them to get off the gas a little bit, right? But you and I both know the receivers don't want them to because, as you noted, this is their chance to pile on the stats. If they got their way, they try to get every single spot in the depth chart points before this game is over.
And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive. And it's becoming more and more apparent that this is just not going to be their night. That Lombardi trophy so close, but the expectations simply have not matched the results as they start on this drive, 1st and 10. Rodgers now on 1st down. This one swung out here to Jones. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30. Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. To throw is Rodgers. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. Rodgers now to throw. That's into the hands of Donovan Peoples-Jones. And oh, he's just going to be short here, barely. Maybe by a half a foot. It'll be 4th and inches. Here's Brett Kern now, as he'll come on for his 5th kick of the night. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. And this returnable for Hill. 13 yards, the tally on the return there. And the Bengals will take over here, 1st and 10. And now we move our focus to Stephon Diggs. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this, but it's usually not by himself, is it? Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
2nd down, another run with Taylor. And he's got it up over the 40 to the 41. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. On 3rd down, here's Taylor. And some room to maneuver. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped. Now another timeout called for by the offense as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the 1st down. That one looks like he'll throw here. And that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete. Well, let's face it, not a lot left for them to prove in this game, but they're still throwing the football. I guess, of course, CD, you could always get the backup some work. There's new plays to try out. But some people, let's face it, they just want to run the score up. It's fun.
I love the way that you express that because you gave plenty of reasons why people like to do things. But ultimately, they just like to keep their foot on the gas and they just want to tromp on teams. And what I like to see is, if you like to do that, how do you handle it when it comes back against you? On those days where someone can run it up on you, do you handle it the way that you expect your opponent to? If so, keep doing your thing.
And that one's not going to get there. Not enough juice. An ambitious effort, but it's well short. But that shouldn't matter a great deal as they still lead by a bundle here.
Yeah, 55 yards is anything but a gimme. You've got to really concentrate on your leg swing and proper technique. This time, though, he's unable to convert.
On 1st and 10, here's Rodgers. Toward the left sideline, but it's incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
To throw on 2nd and 10, Rodgers. On the out route, Dobbs brings it in. Yeah, he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. Rodgers now on 1st down. And his throw is incomplete.
That incompletion brings us one step closer to the end of this one. Maybe mercifully, partner. And let's face it, though, no surprise, they're still flinging it around. They have pride, too.
And he'll take this beyond the line of scrimmage as he slides to a hole. Now they got to get to the line quickly. Throwing is Rodgers on 3rd down. And Rodgers intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Marlon Humphrey. And the Bengals Eagles are going to get the football here as he gets this up past the 20-yard line. Oh, my goodness, CD. I mean, this defense just continuing to dominate. They're really dominating on both sides of the ball, but for the defense, that's now 3 interceptions for them here in this ball game.
And what a great teaching tape with his defensive coordinator, right? When they go back and review this game, what does he always tell us that he preaches to his team? We're going to lead the league in effort. Well, they're doing that in this game as well as making big plays.
And now with 6 seconds remaining, they're going to burn their final timeout. A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. Off the bootleg, Green. And that nearly their first pick of the game, but it falls down to the ground incomplete. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Off the bootleg, Green. Man open downfield is Diggs. He's got it. And this is going to result in another first down as the tackle's made at the Packers' 29-yard line. Bengal Nation rejoice. Cincinnati has given you the Super Bowl title. And to the Super Bowl champions, they etch their name forever in NFL immortality.
That's pretty phenomenal right there. It actually gave me chills just to hear you say that, because immortality forever and ever. When you look in the record books, you'll see this team, you'll see their picture, that your name will be a part of it. That's got to be an incredible feeling, because it's been a long journey to get there, and now they get a chance to enjoy it.